Welcome. My name is Peter Strong and I'm a professional online therapist. I offer therapy via Skype for the treatment of anxiety and for depression, and also for help with recovery from an addiction, including food addictions, or working with any other form of emotional suffering due to uncontrollable emotional reactivity. So online psychotherapy is a very popular choice now, especially since we have the video conferencing capabilities of Skype and other mediums that mean that you can see each other as well as speak to each other during your real-time session. And that's very important, of course, because psychotherapy is a subtle process that requires examining things in great detail and looking at shades of meaning. So communication is very important, and it's best if you can meet a psychotherapist in person, of course, but really, as long as you can see the psychotherapist as well as talk to them, then the results will be just as good. You get all of the non-verbal language, the body cues and facial expressions and speech tone and all of these other components that are such an important part of communication. So online psychotherapy is particularly suitable for working with anxiety and helping you learn practical strategies for overcoming anxiety or panic attacks, and for dealing with all forms of emotional reactivity. It's very important to understand that emotional suffering is essentially the product of psychological habits that often get started in childhood but then start to become automatic and start to become habitual and out of our control, essentially. So a big part of all psychotherapy is uncovering these unconscious habits. Mindfulness therapy, which is what I teach, is really simply a process of looking at your mind to see how you create your anxiety or depression or addictive impulse or anger or whatever it may be. We look and see what's there. So this is not the same as traditional counseling or talk therapy, which is based on an analysis of your mental condition. Mindfulness therapy doesn't rely on analysis, rather it relies on examining the actual processes that are going on, those habitual processes that generate your anxiety and depression. Uncovering those processes and then learning to develop independence from those processes so that you are no longer controlled by the habitual mind. It's possible to establish a relationship with your emotions instead of being controlled by your emotions. So that's the first stage of mindfulness therapy. We call it learning to sit with your emotions without becoming reactive and without becoming identified with those emotions. That's really, really important. The moment you can establish a mindful relationship with your emotions is when you stop feeding them through that habit energy of unconsciousness. When you stop feeding the emotional reactions, they will always change and that will always be in a direction of healing if you don't react to your emotions. If you react to your anxiety or your anger or your depression or your negative thoughts, if you react to them with avoidance or aversion or any other form of cognitive reactivity, then you will simply feed them and they will get stronger. But the moment you can hold the emotion in your conscious awareness without reacting to it, then you stop that process that feeds the emotion. So this is one part of mindfulness therapy. If you'd like to learn more about online psychotherapy and you'd like to schedule a Skype therapy session with me, then go to my website and send me an email. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you've tried so far to manage your anxiety or depression. Tell me where you live and what times would work for you, and then we can simply schedule a trial Skype therapy session. I think you'll really enjoy this approach. Mindfulness has totally transformed psychotherapy, and online psychotherapy using mindfulness is, in my opinion, one of the best approaches out there for really changing your emotional well-being and eliminating those uncontrollable habits that create anxiety or depression. So, if you are interested in online therapy via Skype, do please go to my website and email me. Thank you.